Hey YouTubers, not done a video for a while, my apologies, been busy with various things. So this video is basically going to be an instruction video, walkthrough video on how you change the seats of an Audi A1. So as you can see, I've got very bland, boring, stock SE seats, which are the basic model, and I'm going to change them for the half leather white stitching, very nice. Okay, just a quick side note on where I actually got the seats from without whittling on too long. You can buy these off eBay and they are extremely expensive. I just happened to be extremely lucky that the salvage yard in my local town happened to write off a 2014 Audi A1 S line, and they just had the seats there mint, 400 quid front and back, absolute steal of a price, awesome quality, no complaints. Picked them up, put them in the boot of the car, came home, had to buy some leather cleaner, cleaned them with Zymol, no problem, no scuffs, no marks, no damage, no dents. Awesome, fantastic find. So okay, let's get on with it and I'll show you what I do to fit them. Okay, so you're going to need to buy yourself a spline bit socket set, and you get these from Halfords for about £30, possibly even cheaper if you buy them from eBay. Um, they look very similar to like a star tool set is the best way to describe them. Yeah, so spline bit socket set is the tools you're going to need. Okay, so each seat has 4 bolts. What you need to do is move the seat as far back as possible and locate the first 2 bolts in the front. Dead simple. Get a socket set, your spline bit, undo them. Then move the seat as far forward as possible, find the 2 bolts at the back and undo them and take the bolts out. So you're literally just talking undo 4 bolts. Once you've undone the 4 bolts, you then need to unplug the airbag. So under the seat, you'll see a very small black hatched area. Just pull that off and take that off. You'll then be presented with 2 socket sections, like 2 plugs plugged in. One in the yellow section, one in the black section. You undo the yellow section one, but there's a very small black lip on that yellow section. Very small black lip. You just slide upwards. That then releases the yellow bit and it simply unplugs. You'll then see on the other side the black one that needs to be undone. You need to press this very gently and pull in a very slight lipped kind of piece of plastic. Once you push that in, you're then able to unplug that one. So you literally, with the airbags, all you're doing is removing the top cover. You're unplugging the yellow one, you're unplugging the black one. Very simple. At that stage then, you need to pull the wire off from a very tiny kind of housing hold. It literally is a plastic hold that keeps the wire in place. You literally pull that out and then you'll see it's totally free. Okay, at this stage then, once you've navigated the seat out of the car, it's your opportunity to clean the carpet and give it a good vacuum. So navigate a new seat into position, make sure it all nicely lines up to the 4 holes that you can clearly see in the car bodywork, and using the same bolts, screw them back in. Now it's really worth mentioning at this stage, you need to make sure that the bolts are extremely well screwed in. If they are not, when you then sit on the seat will rock back and forth on the roller and the runner slightly. So you really need to make sure that those 4 bolts that you took out are back into place very tightly. So now you need to reconnect the airbag, and it's exactly the same principle as taking the airbag out. You push the yellow one into the yellow one, pushing then down the little black plastic bit that holds the yellow plug in position. You plug in the black one on the other left hand side to make sure that's nice and tight, and you then make sure that the wire isn't trailing, it's all very nicely tidied and tucked away into the plastic surround. You then put the black cover back over the airbag area, so it's all nice and tidy, and that is pretty much it. Switch on the ignition and just make sure the car doesn't blow up, which is very unlikely. Things I would advise as helps and tips are be careful with the unscrewing of the bolt. Don't round the bolt off. If you do that, you're well and truly screwed. Unlikely to happen, but just be careful. Make sure the tool's into position nice and tight, otherwise it's quite an easy job. I didn't find it particularly hard. Hardest bit was navigating the seat out of the car, navigating the new leather seats into the car, because the leather seats were a darn sight more heavier than the cheaper foam regular seats. Just be careful of damage. The rails aren't hitting trim, dash, console, creating scratches. But other than that, I didn't find it a particularly hard job. Just more manually tiring than anything, lifting and carrying everything. The only other thing I would say is with the airbag switches, obviously don't worry too much about it. Take your time with it. Don't force anything. If it's not coming out very freely, obviously it's because you've not pushed in the little tiny back plastic bit enough to free that connection loose. But other than that, it was quite an easy job. The looks fantastic. Seats are great. Just find yourself a nice bargain somewhere.